Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the north side is the Orange Star Jake, we got Cyrillicguy. Spawn on the south side is the Blue Moon Jess, we got Banjoey. This map is a 3-base map with a free black boat. Both players do have a airport. Both players do move their black boats off of the HQ. This map does support a strong side, weak side mechanic. Strong side has the 2 bases. The weak side has a bit defendable terrain, not too far away from the base. You can always go for artillery and pipe runners to help defend, but I've never really seen either, or never seen a pipe runner. And of course, you lose access to your pipe runners, which destroy this bit of pipe scene. Got a recon deployed on out there. Both players do also start off a recon here. The skin item was on the strong side for a little bit of time. And we do also have a recon here as well. There's a lot of shores for the recon. After all, shores and roads are basically the same thing for recons. It's the infantry unit that's capturing up the comm tower. Orange did try to go for that pretty early. And of course, it's supposed to be more of his opponents. Double recon just realized by Jake. Tank here on the weak side. He does see the tank here on the strong side. Jess and Jake are also pretty two similar COs. Honestly, in some aspects a little bit too similar. Of course, Jess only supports all vehicles, all ground vehicles, while Jake supports all units on planes, including air units. Both their superpowers are pretty similar, but they provide a good amount of firepower for vehicles, or at least vehicles on planes. But also get +2 movement range for both of them. Jess is a bit more of a standard or geometric growth between the power and superpower, while Jake has a bit of weird effect where he gets +1 indirect range for both the power and superpower. They're similar, but different. Though Jake is still pretty forgettable in Dual Strike. It took me a long time to remember the fact that he existed for a bit of time. He's probably less memorable than Davis from Days of Ruin. Hell, the mayor was one of the most memorable characters in entire Advanced Wars, honestly. And he doesn't have a proper name or even CO. Comm tower being catch up by Jess now. We do have artillery and tank on the weak side. Jake's going for a healthy number of tanks. On the strong side, it's better to go for tanks and more mobile units. On the weak side, it can be good to go for some indirects to be a bit slower and more defensive. But right now, we do have Jess as a tank pushing pretty far forward. Jake, if he goes for the recon there, that will be a bit of a trap. It's the comm tower, interrupts it. It looks like Jake's going to be able to capture this comm tower nice and safely. Don't see anything nearby to interrupt it. Artillery, infantry, and infantry. Saving up 4,000 funds. Maybe I displace this recon. I always think mechs just do that, taking it out best. Mech down south gets a good strike. Justice infantry is completely and utterly ordinary, which is perfectly fine. Tank, infantry, tank. Lots of property captures, 20,000 versus 20,000 income. Jake, of course, has his comm tower. 5 capture progress remaining. The recon could be sacked to interrupt the capture even further. Don't think that's a good idea. Had vision of the tank. Now this tank will be knocked out. The recon could be machine gunned down by all these infantry units, possibly. Maybe not. Not enough surface area. Worth a full health one from here and a full health one from either these two tiles may not be enough to gun down the recon. Though a joint capture will help keep the capture progress as well. It's the infantry twice, and that one as well. Mech finished off the recon. It's the tank there. Join captures. Yeah, it doesn't need to take time to shoot the recon a little bit, since there's no way this one possibly can get below 4 health. But I don't think it will. Jess has a good amount of force here for defense, so it feels like Jess is in a better position. Ends the turn of 89. I saw one for 90 to 89. Somehow it went down between the turn difference. Versus 66. And good spotting there for the artillery. It's the capping squad. It's the 4 health one. Interrupts his capture there. Infantry. And tank just falls back to the cities. Got another tank in this city as well. And Jake saved up 12,000 funds. This map, what does it have? All units are not banned, so could possibly see some sort of a stealth play. Yeah, we just may see a possible stealth play. Don't think it's going to be a black bomb. I don't think black bombs are usable unless it's in high funds. They're just really expensive, costing a staggering 25,000. So in order to get that much damage done, it's actually a little bit difficult. Definitely a high funds unit. And plus, it also somewhat kills your own momentum as well. Sacking 25,000 to hopefully do more than 25,000 damage. Good shots there. Tank ain't here. It's the infantry unit there. Very interesting. Mech is simpler to take out the recon and then capture compared to the arty, but has a long time getting away after that. Arty can kill it, but does need a recon infantry to see it there. Yep. Personally, I think the mech would be best because it's simple, easier. You can always pick it up later with a APC later on, but also you can always just have it run to the front line. It's cheap. Artillery is good, nice, like you said. Infantry unit will still have a bit of time escaping as well. I just feel like mech is the better option, but that's just my opinion. Does get a good shot there in the tank, because after all, infantry still needs to just run away as well. And we'll have a bit of infantry unit will have trouble escaping. After all, it'll take 2 turns just to get out of the river, across the river. Well, the mech will just be able to get actually a bit ahead. This is ahead of the infantry unit as well. Let's check out that unit there. 99,000 versus 118, so Jess has a nice little advantage there. Jake's not been too aggressive here. Most of the conflicts happen in the center. Jake does go for a battlecopter. Jess only loses minus 10% firepower on her battlecopters, so they're perfectly adequate. They're not Drake battlecopters, which are just not good. Does not have vision 8 here. May have spotted in a previous turn, though. Artillery strikes the pipe seam. Battlecopter tank. Does take out that tank there. Oh, we do have now the turbocharge. I wonder how that's going to go. 3 off tank gets sacked. Battlecopter strikes the tank there, knocks it out. It's another tank there. Does strike at this other tank there. And will get machine gun down by infantry. It's the infantry unit there out in the open. We do have a block rock available next turn. But I don't think the block rock's actually going to be that great. Jake doesn't have too much in the front line to really use with a block rock. And the interior is in the forest. I'm not sure if it crossed this one tile there. Artillery, no +1 range artillery benefits. Like here, the mech got damaged back when it was probably captured and leaving about the same amount of time. Total times the mech, of course, needed an APC or TCOP to move out. Like it said, dimension slowly for 2 tiles, yada yada. Like not a lot like a mounted house, so make mechs great again. Yeah, I suppose there's an argument for both. Probably somebody could probably take time and really specify it, but a mech will of course take 2 turns to get here, then 2 turns to get there. Infantry unit will take a turn there, and then turn 2 there, and about turn 3 is when they're getting pretty even. So mech can probably get all the way over here, but +1 turn for capturing since it does get wounded a little bit. Yeah. Does get some good shots there. Block rock, +2 range is all make your units go a pretty long way. Of course, he does get additional firepower from tech from planes. That is a short tile. Takes up the pipe scene. Got additional firepower from being on top of planes. Decides to take a shot from the platform, which of course will give him more defense as opposed to offense. Now probably be less exposed than going right there. Tank, artillery, or tank, battlecopter, mech, and infantry. Destroys the pipe seam there. And now the medium tank pushes forward on top of a city in vision range of Jake. Hero gets some good shots there. Does take out some good rounds in both of those tanks there. Jess looks like she will interrupt or get that property captured. He will need a power in order to range it, but of course he's at 0 charge there, so it looks like this will be flipped. 25,000 versus 24,000 income. There's still one property probably despicably neutral somewhere. Where exactly, I'm not sure. Oh, right there. There's a despicable neutral city. Think it's a good strike there. Finished off. Trying to flip that property. Interrupts that capture. Shoots the battlecopter a little bit. Takes out the infantry unit there. Tank strikes anti-air. Mech will finish it off. Or, nope, it did not. Battlecopter, not going to worry about the 1 health anti-air. Infantry unit does gun it down. Slots a bit of cleanup in the center. Just now is a full overdrive, which actually won't be super great at the moment. Yeah, I don't think it would be super great at the moment. I'm trying to see where the +2 movement range would be useful. What engagements? This anti-air cannot range the battlecopter. This tank can range something. The medium tank can range something. But that's about it. Recon hit an infantry unit there and just be annoying. Of course, our cast division, we know about the artillery piece there. This artillery is out of range. The funny thing as well, if the recon pushes forward like this, if he gets some power, he could perhaps range the artillery, and this artillery would be able to range some stuff as well. It's the artillery twice, and now thrice. Good damage there. Yep, decides not to go for the overdrive or turbocharge. There's actually probably been an argument for turbocharge, because the 1-2 punch is probably would be better. Depends if she needs +2 range and extra firepower or not. Or some extra firepower. Battlecopter, tank, or anti-air, and infantry. He does have access to a beatdown, which could, of course, give us artillery +1 range, which could range this artillery there. Of course, I don't think he has vision of it, but does go for the beatdown. Okay. And use the artillery strike to recon. Does not know about the artillery. It was in fog war this entire time. Does not get additional movement range for any of his vehicles. Just +1 indirect range. Medium tank, that would be a good spot for it. Tank infantry. Recon takes out infantry there. Does take up battlecopter. Don't know if that beatdown was great. The only thing he really got was 1 strike on a recon there. Yeah, I don't think the beatdown was a good idea. Save the power charge. There was not enough value from that, in my opinion. 2 battle copters in the area. Could probably double tap the medium tank. Anti-air can be struck by the tank and anti-air. Does spot the artillery there, but we'll get a good strike. Mech is a good hit there on that tank and does finish off. And turn on top of a city there. We do have Neo tank on the weak side. And Sai just pulled back out of that region. If the artillery providing coverage for the medium tank, though not great coverage from this one, that should be adequate enough. The medium tank could charge while hit the medium tank, but of course it'll be a shooting gallery. Goes for a full overdrive. Neo tank sprints out of the base. Hits the tank on top of the HQ. Anti-air strikes the... Ooh, this overdrive is reaching pretty deep over here. Now the medium tank is lacking a bit of support. A beatdown could provide some fire artillery support. And this one is on top of a plane, so we'll get additional bonus damage there. Looks like the medium tank will not be touched. It is out of vision range though. This regular tank could get some good spotting, all depends what he do. Of course, we would be out of range of everything, other than the medium tank. Does side strike the regular tank rather than trying to strike the artillery there, so this artillery is going to be counter-barraged. Does spot the Neo tank. He's going to need to get something a bit heavier there, but he already built a medium tank this side. Does get some hits there. Mech recon. This Neo tank is going to cause some issues. Maybe the mech will get a first strike from the Neo tank. Won't be great. Cost effective, but not great. Medium tank will strike the medium tank. We've got another medium tank here. With the planes nearby, can get a booster strike onto it. One capture progress left on the city. So it does actually need to interrupt or full deletion. And right now, Jess is at 27,000 versus 23,000. Battlecopter, medium tank, infantry, and looks like she will commit base skip. Block rock available. And that could allow this tank to sprint around and hit the anti-air. Good spotting there. Medium tank will decide to interrupt the capture. 3 health left on it's not great. So, might as well. Booster strike there. Man's one-shot it. Very nice. He probably did a bit of a move planner or damage calculator there before sending the medium tank down here. After all, if that would have not one-shot, I thought this stay-off medium tank will probably take it out. But since he knew this would do enough damage, he sent the medium tank down there. So it's probably going to be knocked out by mech, but it's 3 health medium tank. It's not going to last for too long either way. Artillery gets a +1 range into the Neo tank. Very nice. Not on top of planes though, but good enough. Double taps the Neo tank. Is also on 0 defense stars, which is very good, so the Neo tank goes down pretty easily. Overdrive available. Yes, I did say that was a plane style. It's one of the things as well, it's like, I can never know how much damage a medium tank would do exactly versus another medium tank with all the various different bonuses. Do now have a turbocharge. The power, not the superpower, being activated. Which means you will have a good amount of charge left over for another power, which is very good. 1-2 punch concept is very good for many COs. Look at here. I'm not sure. Yep, you guys can see it barely. 3 capture progress remaining on a 3 health infantry unit there. I actually sort of curious about that. How close was that to 47 to 51%? Oh, she rolled lower luck. It was likely a bit of a coin flip, so she rolled a little bit poor on the coin flip. Not to mention, you can never know the fractional health as well, so it probably would have been pretty safe to do 5 points of damage rather than 4, but it must have had just 70% health. Artillery strikes 1 target. Artillery takes another... Oh, that was a regular tank there. So this artillery won't be in range of everything. Thought he probably would use the artillery there. Guess not. Maybe he's trying to keep this one hidden. Probably had a vision of it. Not sure if just had vision this forest tile if anything entered it. So maybe try and do something sneaky there. Battlecopter, artillery, and mech. Well, won't be able to range this tank. Won't be able to range the medium tank. Too close. Times the artillery piece, which was the anti-tank. So unfair. Broken pipe scenes are just planes for Jake, but bridges are... Yeah, I think bridges should be account for coal. If Advanced Wars Wide Web does any balance changes, which I understand why they don't, that would be one balance change I would support. But beaches should not count for coal, even though they're basically almost the same for most aspects, barring naval landings. Because one thing is as well, like, it's also a bit of a design feature of the map. You could put a road there, or you could put a bridge there. For a map designer, they want to make it look at least nice. But, of course, it also does have implication it does not affect coal, when it probably should. Good strike there. Recon, infantry, and medium tank. Though whenever it comes to balance changes, you can always make a justification that this cartridge had this version of the CO and could receive that sort of variation of it. Sort of like Eagle's Lightning Drive, as opposed to Lightning Strike. The DS version is a very fun version useful for hidden runs. Medium tank, infantry, and tank. Or say Sonya having capability to ignore defense stars as a day-to-day power, which could actually give her a reasonable buff. Now let's take out the tank there. Good strike there. Artillery does think strike there. Capture the city, takes out the recon. Oh, stealth. Also, I do believe missiles should have the capability of hitting stealths. I know that's not like that in any game version, but I believe missiles should be able to do that. Gives at least another option to deal with stealths. Just go the Tiny Wars route, have a OG version of the game players, instead of a modified version to update for competitive play. Yeah, that is a good aspect. Though I know it's a little bit of a mixed opinion about all the custom COs they added, but seeing the CO supplies a little bit small there, some custom COs can be quite nice. But that's, of course, how drastically different Days of Ruin is from Advanced Wars proper or standard. I don't know how to properly consider that. We do have now another overdrive available. Could go for a double turbocharge as well. Recon, battlecopter, tank. Stealth is stealthed. Good strike on the battlecopter. Oh, we got a beatdown. I guess with a +1 range, he really wants this artillery to range it. It's on top of 4, so it won't get any boosted damage. We will see boosted damage there. Doesn't one-shot it though. Good hit there. Mech gets a good shot. Battlecopter gets boosted strike there. Does not finish it off. Recon will hit the capturing squad, leaving 1 health remaining. 4 capture progress remaining. Goes for tank, infantry, and medium tank. Pulls back the medium tank. It's the mech. Does get a good round on the battlecopter. Starting to flip the or the lab now. So Ornstar's been getting a decent amount of vision there as everything passed by. Neo tank, infantry. Let's see now. 145 versus 145. It's day 24, and both players have nearly identical value in the field. Jake has less units. Jess has more units. See, it feels like Jess has more tech on the field. The stealth, however, is a power play unit, which there's no fighter just yet. And of course, the stealth will be able to take out everything over here. Good strikes. Artillery does strike the recon, tank, battlecopter, infantry, and mech. Now we've got the full overdrive now deployed in the field, allowing the Neo tank to strike the medium tank in range of a powered. Actually, another beatdown could double tap that Neo tank of artillery. There's going to be argument for a beatdown next turn to beat down that Neo tank. And spot the stealth there. Probably like, oh, what's in the forest? Oh, there's a stealth right there. Immediately fighter. Yeah. That's actually really good for Jess to figure out the stealth. The stealth did not get a first strike in, which means Jess has a full turn to help respond to it. A full additional turn. Nope. And the thing as well, the artillery and everything else over here can start engaging. When it comes to the stealth as well, Jake can also estimate how far the fighter is to reaching here, so he probably knows he has at least, he can probably charge forward, get a shot off, and then fall back in time. Recon charges forward. Stealth can hit the medium tank. I would say go straight for the medium tank or artillery. He knows he has a turn or two before it arrives. Pops a beat down. He's going to beat down that Neo tank. Double taps it there. And the regular tank does finish it off with a boosted strike from the planes. Stealth will strike the medium tank with the boosted strike from the planes as well. Would it be a good idea to do with the boosted strike or use it for power charge? Yeah, argument can be made for either way. Probably one extra point of damage or extra power charge. Next turn, the fighter, it will reach there. If he counts his Tao's route, he knows that he's out of range. If he stands right there, he will be out of range. He's trying to surround the stealth, but it is safe this turn, but only for this turn. Tank, battlecopter, artillery, infantry. Jake probably should have gone for anti-air here. He knows the stealth is right here. Wait. The stealth is actually running out of fuel. It burns fuel a lot. It's gonna crash. It's gonna crash out of, due to the lack of fuel. I just realized that. Oops. The fighter was not even needed. He needs an APC, but even then, this is going to be burned, what, down to 10 fuel next turn? It burns like 7 fuel per turn, or... It's like a ridiculous amount, I always forget. Next turn, he has to... no, the black boat needs to be over here. He needs it over here. Yeah. He can only make it like move like a handful of tiles. He can't even take a full move turn. Yeah, it's going to crash. The fighter's worthless. The stealth is largely worthless. At this point in time, Jess could just not deploy a fighter and be perfectly fine, because it's going to drop out of the sky before the fighter even reaches it. Whoops. Mistake from both sides? At least the fighter can at least stick around and shoot down battlecopters. It's the artillery there. She sees it's lacking fuel. Medium tank infantry. Repairs the medium tank. It's down to 10 fuel. And it will consume 5 fuel once unstealth, so it can move 1, 2, 3, 4 right here, unstealth. And APC would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need a superpower of fuel to get it resupplied in fuel. Yeah, I have no idea if he should try saving it or not, because the chance of getting a superpower is also unlikely. Yeah, I think it'd be best to have it attack something that's actually not the fighter and just not deploy any battlecopters, keep its battlecopters on the right side of the map. Unself's there, but will consume 5 fuel per turn. It's gonna crash. Nope, it's gonna crash. Unless I'm mistaken, I thought for us fighters, anything that uses a plane's movement type will be stealths, fighters, and bombers consume 5 fuel per turn. Artillery, infantry, battlecopter, and APC. Gets trapped there with a 1 health infantry unit there. She does go ahead and get stuck like a stepsister. Artillery with a power will be in range and stuff. Hits the recon there. Does miss this artillery there. Medium tank, recon, infantry. And the self gets fell to the ground. Oops. That also leaves at 157 versus 160, so we're pretty even. And now we got a dead stealth and a pointless fighter. I probably put too much emphasis. I just find that too stupid. Takes the medium tank there. Yeah, I think that when the stealth was moving around here, the black bolt should have been following and resupply as soon as it leaves his range, before it leaves range. Does use the battlecopter, does pop the power with some power charges left over. Now can range the medium tank there, could arrange either, decides to go with the wounded one. He drops the capture, ATR takes up battlecopter. Mech gets a good strike on the tank. Black bolt drops off the mech, only could drop off 1 unit there. I thought there was 2 units loaded up inside. Don't see the other one. Mech, battlecopter, recon, and tank. 119 versus 179. Does spot the battlecopter, knocks it out. Almost enough for an overdrive. Does get trapped there. Medium tank, good shot, but it's going to be shelled by the artillery. Also does spot those 2 medium tanks there. Fighter advancing way forward. Fighter should just try to be in the area where the battlecopters will likely be. Overdrive available. Recon, medium tank, tank. Mech gets good strike there onto the anti-air. Hits that medium tank twice. Oh, and does get trapped there. Mech infantry. Anti-air does take out the infantry unit there. And does resupply the medium tank, which is actually running low on fuel as well. At least the APC is not going to be totally useless. We've got the full superpower now being deployed in the field. Overdrive. Medium tank will strike medium tank. Artillery will strike tank strike artillery. Does take out that medium tank there. Hits the APC for less than 10% damage. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Do you see another beatdown available or possibility? This artillery piece will not be in range though. This one is already in range of this tank. This one, of course, in range of the medium tank. Over here though, with +1 range, it will hit the 3 infantry unit there. Yeah, I don't see a beatdown being useful this turn. Jake is, of course, going to be is getting a bit of a hybrid style between Jess and Grit at the moment, making good use of +1 range. I guess Jake can be a hybrid between the two. You can see Jake's been constantly deploying artillery and keeping them in range, keeping in mind both their 3 range and a possible 4 range. So he's doing quite a good job on that aspect. This APC is going to be shelled. I'll use the 2 health infantry unit there, artillery to strike the recon. That's still a higher priority take target than most times in the APC. Does strike the recon there. Does find the 2 artillery a little bit late. Anti-air, tank, and tank. It's turn 142, starts turn 136, so they're still both pretty even. Though that fighter's still a little bit dead weight. Always view Jake as a wannabe grit. I can see that. He mixes a lot of different aspects. Of course, Dual Strike had a lot more terrain COs. When I say a lot more, I mean... Oh, technically 3. Got Kindle, Jake, and Cole. With aspects of both Jess and Grit. He's a weird amalgamation. While trying to be hip and cool with headphones. If they want to modernize them, they replace them with earbuds. And I hate earbuds. They always fall out my ears. Does get the strike there. Fighter scouting out. We do now have a whole superpower available for Jake. Though, don't see him being too useful next turn. Yep, it's probably not a turn for the superpower. Does spot the battle copter there. Sonya also has an annoying ability to reduce terrain stars in DS, which actually makes her a bit more balanced. She is like bottom tier CO, unless in Fog of War, she's in second bottom tier. Does use beat down there. Gonna be beating down that medium tank. This 2 health artillery can take out the 1 health artillery. And does get a good shot there on the fighter. Oh, and Jess has resigned mid-turn. I think she still could have won out. There was no decisive advantage there. She did take some losses that turn, but she still could have pulled back. By the way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.